Hello and welcome to another World of Warplanes video with me, Sir 10 Death. I recently uploaded a video about the French Tier 5 fighter, the Arsenal Delane, which is currently available in the EU Premium Shop, but also this one, the Mitsubishi A6M3 Experimental, is there as well. And today we're looking at it and seeing, is it worth the gold? So I bought myself one of these last night, and as I ever tend to do, I tend to just do my paint jobs, fit it out with a few bells and whistles, and then get straight into a game and I record the first game where possible and show people what it's really like and how it's played, whether it goes well or not. And we'll see how this pans out. So I've just put some things on there to make it more manoeuvrable. Jump into a game here. Let's have a look. We're in a Tier 6 game, but there's only a couple of Tier 6s there, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so let's chat about this while the replay is happening here. The A6M3 then, it's a Japanese Tier 5 fighter, and it's very much considered by many people on the forums to be overpowered for one simple reason. It has got very, very strong armament. It's got good guns on it. It's a typical Japanese fighter in that it's largely about its manoeuvrability, but let's see how it goes. I don't know. I haven't played very much down the Japanese fighter line in the game. In fact, I think I'm only at Tier 4, so I'm not an expert on them, but I do like my fighter planes. I do like planes that are highly manoeuvrable, getting in amongst things and getting behind people. So I'm heading off here towards this side of the map, and it looks like the bulk of everybody else is going to the garrison in the middle, so there's only me and one other going this way. Let's see how that pans out. So what I'm doing here, by the way, there was a problem with the software and all of the sound wasn't working. Some sound is and some isn't. I apologies for doing this. I thought about getting a different video, but I do want to show you the first game. So I'm just trying to get the sound working, but it seems to be misbehaving. It's doing some sounds, but not all sounds. Right, so we're just approaching the place we want to get involved with now. Let's have a look. Then we've got a couple of defensive fighters. We've actually got some enemy fighters coming in as well. Let's see if we can get in behind somebody and do some damage, and just see how it pans out. Come on, so it's a typical fighter. It's got a sort of 6-second boost. Let's try and get behind somebody. He's coming straight. Oh, let's have a look now. Oh wow, got somebody. Oh, that didn't go well. All right, I've just cut straight to the next part. No, that's not very good. That could well have been my error. I was maybe playing a bit too aggressive there. I'm not somebody who judges a plane based upon my first minute of gameplay, so just because I really made a big mess of that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad plane. Let's have a look and see how this goes from here then. Let's chat about the plane in the meantime. It's got 180 hit points normally. Mine's got 189 because I've got a mod on it that gives me 5% bonus. Right, I've got a guy in my sights. Let's have a look and see how we're doing here. Yeah, okay, we're doing some damage there. So the guns I mentioned earlier, they're a bit funny, and the reason why people say they're overpowered, it does have two 7.7 mils, which are just fairly low powered guns. They'll do little bits of damage, but they will chip away continually. It also has two 30mm guns. Now they will overheat quite fast, as you can see here, but if you get them on target, my lord, they're going to do some damage. The problem with getting them on target is those 30mm are mounted on the wings, which means therefore you get a bit of dispersion, so it's hard to always keep them on target. So they're a little bit unpredictable, but if you do get them on target, you can do massive amounts of damage. I believe they can do 130 hit points of damage per second. And bear in mind, a lot of planes at Tier 5 only have about 200 hit points. Essentially, if you can get on the tail of somebody for 2 seconds with those guns on target, they're gone. Let's have a look here. Let's try to get this guy on target. Now the big guns have already overheated, so I'm just tickling away here. Oh, this guy's really trying to avoid being hit. He's all over the place, but I'm still just chipping away at him and seeing if we can finish him off. He's making hard work of this for me. He's actually playing very, very well. Given that he's got somebody on his tail and he can't shrug me off, he's doing everything he can to make my life a misery here. Just drop out of sniper mode and try and finish him off. What a tough cookie. I am going to have you, whether you like it or not, you are going to go back to the hangar. Come on. Stay with me. Come on. What an awkward plane. Wow. I don't remember being in such a lengthy tail-chasing dogfight since I was reviewing the there we go, the I-180-3 about 3 weeks ago. So yes, mine's got 189 hit points. It's got a manoeuvrability rating of 1074, which is very, very good, very impressive. Controllability of 85, which is very nice as well. Its speed is average for a Tier 5 fighter. It ticks around the 300-ish, can go up to around 500 when boosted, but generally speaking, oh, now I've got these guns on target this time, and even though they're overheated, they did hit a couple of times first. You can see how low. Yeah, that's done a job on him. So now this plane's starting to perform. I made a massive mess of it early on, which is purely down to my fault, poor decision making, and probably playing a bit too arrogantly, a bit too aggressively. But now I've got starting to get a feel for it. It's it's doing okay here. I do need to maybe not keep my finger on the mouse button as much and more burst fire this, because that gun does overheat pretty quick. But if I can get behind somebody, which I can do here, Yep, get behind him, get him in my sight, pop. Yes. Ooh, Avenger as well. That was a guy that shot me down earlier. So we've got the grade 5 fighter there. I'm doing some reasonable damage. I'm quite pleased with this. Back to the plane then. It's best fighting altitude around 800. I'm actually playing a bit below that at the minute. I'm on the 600s, but yes, this is now doing quite well. I'm starting to quite enjoy this now. My initial reaction early on was that it wasn't going to be much fun to play. The problem with Japanese fighters is that they are usually quite powerful, but they have such the paper thin that they're so easily damaged and they have low hit points. So if anybody gets after you, it's hard to shrug them off, hard to do much other than often just put up with it. You can try and just outrun them, well, probably outshake them by using your maneuverability to try and shrug them off your tail, but hard to do sometimes. So I'm just trying to chase people down here now. I've now passed the 4,000 combat points mark, so this is starting to go to work now. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is currently in the EU premium shop. It costs about £6.80 in UK money, about €8, which is typical for a tier 5 fighter. It is, as I mentioned, it's considered by many people to be overpowered because of its armament. So it's possibly, one of these ones that you might expect that at some point in the future, Wargaming might intentionally nerf it. But at the time being, they're leaving it as it is because there's not many of them in the game. It's considered a little bit of a rare plane, as the Arsenal Delane, the 10C2 was that I reviewed a couple of days ago. While we're on the subject of things that are currently in the premium shop, I have also recently bought the French heavy fighter. That's me out for the second time. I'll just cut back to going back in for the third time now. The French heavy fighter, the SE100. And I did record some footage to make a video, but unfortunately the World of Warplanes game, it crashed when I was busy playing that, which is, I don't like that because I do like to show people my very first game and things to be fair. I'm not one of these people who just plays an aircraft 20 or 30 times until I finally have an amazing game and then claim that that's what happens every time. It doesn't. This game's panning out quite well now, but it did start off terribly, to be honest. I've got my grade 4 fighter now, just past the 6,000 mark. So I'm starting to enjoy this now. I'm starting to say, I know it's stating the obvious here, but it does play like a typical fighter. It's very good, how I like to play my fighters anyway. It's very good at getting behind people, getting on the tail of them. Those guns are going to work. Now here's the classic example. That guy was on full hit points when I got behind him, and because I got those 30 mils on target just a couple of times, it's all you need really, because after that the 7.7s can just chip away and do the rest of the damage necessary. I'm on almost 7,500 combat points now, and I'm just trying to mop up a bit. Our team are very much ahead. We very much got the game in the bag. Yeah, this guy here, you're my next target. Thank you very much. You can go down now. Who's next? Next on the list, you do nicely. I have to say, it's quite nice when those big guns hit. They're quite unpredictable, but on those odd moments when they hit, you suddenly see the hit point panel of an enemy plane just jump down by a big chunk, and obviously know they've been hit as well. Yeah, that's one there. You see that just jump down quite a lot when the 30 mil hit, and he's doing his best to get out of dodge here. There's another one, and that's another one. That's a grade 2 fighter now. Ooh, he collided with the plane there. Keep on his way. So we've almost got this in the bag yet. Had a quick look at the scores. The game is definitely going to be won now. We're not going to throw it away now. Is it worth the gold then? Well, based upon this game, it's I would say, yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's like a normal fighter. I've been enjoying a few of these so far. I've actually I've very much enjoyed the French Arsenal Delane plane I reviewed a couple of days ago. I also managed to get myself the British Tier 5 Spitfire 1A on a promotion which is doing the rounds at the moment from a publication company in the UK, which means you can get the Spitfire and the Tier 2 German FW56 Stosser for completely for free. If I can find the link to that, I'll post it below, but there was only 100,000 codes available. They may well have gone now. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I like this plane. It's like a normal fighter. It's my kind of plane. Is it worth the gold? I'd say it probably is. Yeah, it's for £6. It's a bit of fun. You can see how many credit pulls. I've done 10,000 damage there. A couple of awards. Grade 2 fighter award. Finished first the team overall. Ooh, this is a fancy one. What's that one? Cachet medal. Okay, that's right. A new one for me. That's a funny one. So how's it like for pulling in credits? Let's see. Let's just pop into the credits. Oh, very nice. Tier 5 pulling in 148,000. I was pretty impressed when the French one pulled in 131 the other day. So 148 is brilliant, to be honest. I did pretty well overall, although it started catastrophically. I would say this is a nice plane to play if you like Japanese fighters. You want to train a Japanese pilot up for your the Jap planes. Then yeah, it's great. It's probably worth the gold. I like it. I'd recommend it. As ever, Thanks for watching the video. I hope you do share and subscribe, and I'll keep them coming. Thank you very much. Goodbye.